Hey, good morning, everybody. Irish Prepper 2A here, and I want to talk about an extremely hot topic that is going viral right now, and that is how an illegal immigrant was able to have a firearm and be not charged with any violations whatsoever. This is, this is major. This is big time. Um, and they're rolling with this scenario of they allow illegals to have handguns and firearms. We're going to get in more into that, but yet if you are a citizen of the United States, you were born here or whatever like that, you have to go through hell and high water to make that purchase. So I want to get through this video as quickly as possible. Scoot, thanks for giving me the suggestion, and this is the info that I was able to come up with throughout the night. So without further ado, let's get into this because there's a lot to cover. So an Illinois judge by the name of Sharon Coleman grants firearm possession to an illegal immigrant. The case was the U.S. versus, I'm going to butcher this name, Heriberto Carvajal Flores. Now, the gentleman was here illegally. That's been established. He was found in possession of a semi-automatic handgun in 2020, which was during the summer of the George Floyd riots. When questioned about it, he stated that he acquired the gun for self-protection and protection of property. I can't say I blame him there. I got it. But, the question lies is, how did he acquire this firearm with, probably, no documentation of citizenship? Where's the background? How do they run a background on somebody that is here illegally? With no documentation behind their name. Where did he get the gun? Did he get it from a legitimate shop or did he buy it off the street? Those facts are still not found anywhere. Here's the next point. He was found to have no criminal past or any history of violence. Therefore, he was deemed safe to allow possession. And we'll go back to this point a little bit later on down the line. If he has no citizenship, how do they know that? If they have no documentation of his past, how do they know that? That's the question. So going into the law that makes illegal immigrants ineligible for gun ownership is 18 U.S. Code 922, otherwise known as the Gun Control Act. Partway down through this, a good way down, in Section D, it shall be unlawful for any person to sell or otherwise dispose of any firearm or ammunition to any person knowing or having reasonable cause to believe that such person, including a juvenile, that's stupid, of course including a juvenile. You have to be 18 to buy a long arm. You have to be 21 to buy handgun. Going on, who, being an alien, is illegally or unlawfully in the United States. Again, 18 U.S. Code 922, the Gun Control Act. That's the law. Now, there was an additional law put in the U.S. Code that the judge used to contradict this, that 922 law. U.S. Code 925, exceptions, relief from disabilities. Now, don't let the word disability get in your head or, mess you up about that. It's, they're talking about disability in a different form. Section C, a person who is prohibited from possessing, shipping, transporting, or receiving firearms or ammunition may make application to the Attorney General for relief from the disabilities imposed by federal laws with respect to the acquisition of, receipt, transfer, shipment. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You can go read it up yourself. I've given you the laws. You can find them. Just Google them. Here's the important part. Here's the real important part. And this is where they found their loophole. And before I get into that, when I talk about disability, they're meaning disability as in the disadvantage of not being a citizen. It's not like they have some physical disability. No, they just have a citizenship or a legal disability. So it says, and the applicant's record and reputation are such that the applicant will not be likely to act in a manner dangerous to public safety, and that the granting of the relief would not be contrary to the public interest. That's the important part right there. The applicant's record and reputation. Remember, we talked about he was found to have no record of any criminal past or any history of violence. Therefore, they deemed him safe to have that firearm. Guys, this is insane. This is insane how they are twisting this and manipulating. You know, if any of us, walk around, unless you're in a very, conservative state, West Virginia, Utah, things like that, where you can, carry concealed without a permit, or even open carry without a permit. You're going to see jail time. Bottom line. You are going to the slammer. Okay? So, also, she used the U.S. Supreme Court case of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, Inc. versus Bruin. That was from June 23rd, 2022. Guys, this is a U.S. Supreme Court document. It's 135 pages long. In essence, the Supreme Court ruled that states that grant shall issue is constitutional, but may issue, and may issue is granting of a required permit or license is partially at the discretion of local authorities. May issue is not constitutional. Remember a couple of years ago when there was a big celebration that the Supreme Court got rid of that? That's what they're using now. And they're ignoring the shall issue part. They're just saying it's the constitutional right. It's in the Second Amendment. It's a person's right to keep and bear arms. I'm going to talk more about that in a second and how they manipulated that statement. One more thing I want to touch on about this judge is that she has also found felons in possession of firearms not guilty. This woman has a habit of doing this. In November of 2023, in U.S. versus Griffin, they again used the Bruin case and had the charges dismissed. Griffin was a felon in possession of a firearm, and even the serial number was ground down. I mean, it doesn't get more blatant than that. And they use this, the Supreme Court case again to get him off those charges. So now we have several things going on, and the newest one they're going to be using, because once the case is finished and decided, they can refer to it in future cases. So look out down the line as they find more people in possession of firearms that aren't supposed to have them. They're going to be referencing the U.S. versus Carvajal Flores. That's what they do. That's how they do this. So the big question is, how are they getting away with this? They're using the play on words from the U.S. Constitution. The Second and the 14th Amendment use the word people, not citizens. They are interpreting people as anyone with boots on the ground in the United States. So, as I said, what they're doing is they're using the play on words from the Second Amendment. It is the right of the people, not citizens, to keep and bear arms. Now, we all know that, the people are generally not happy about this, but this liberal judge is using the Second Amendment to her advantage. And I say liberal judge, she was appointed by Obama. They're up in Chicago, Illinois, in that area. And I mean, Chicago's a war zone anytime, not just 2020, anytime. So the question lies is, why are they doing this? On one hand, everybody's talking about gun confiscation. We need to do away with firearms. And then in the next breath, they're saying, oh, it's okay. He can have them. It's his right. Could it be that they're using this, that if enough Second Amendment supporters raise arms, they're saying, well, maybe the Second Amendment isn't such a great idea after all. I mean, it got this guy off. There's something bigger going on here, guys. There's something bigger. They're laying the foundation for something else. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. Because, the day that, a law-abiding citizen, someone with a squeaky clean record that, has to go through all that garbage to acquire a firearm, and yet somebody who isn't even a citizen still has court pending for being here illegally, or somebody who has a felony record with a street gun with the numbers filed off, they're getting off and they're allowed to do this. Guys, something is screwed up. Bottom line, nothing good can come from this. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a final thoughts on this and their play of words. Why can't we do an Uno reverse card on them? If they're going to say people, anybody with boots on the ground in America, people. However, let's go back and let's read the 15th and 19th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution when it talks about voting. Talking about voting, the verbiage that they use in there states citizen, not people. So when it comes time to vote and get rid of this swamp that is just a mess, it's undescribable, wouldn't we be wise to use their same rhetoric against them? Okay, yeah, you got this guy off with, the people. Yeah, he's a person. He's here in America. But when it comes time to vote, when it comes time to vote, they talk about citizens. Okay, so think about that for a little bit. I know this was a lot of information to throw out at you, but you can go ahead and do your own research for yourself. I mean, this was a lot of stuff, guys. And I didn't even dig real deep. I just hit on the most important and relevant things that I could find that would make sense of this situation for whatever sense it's going to make. All right, guys. You all stay safe. Have a blessed day. Know your laws and how they're going to be used against you. Because right now the American laws sure as hell aren't working for you. So, take care. Have a blessed day. Irish Pepper signing off.